Content warning. The following episode contains discussion of some potentially troubling topics, including miscarriage and stillbirth. If you feel these conversations might affect you negatively, please feel free to skip those sections of the episode, which will be highlighted just beforehand.
Welcome to About Time, a Doctor Who podcast. Today, we're watching Torchwood, and quite frankly, it's about time. Hello.
Hello. I'm in pain. I've got a bad shoulder.
Yeah, I think I am sympathetic, and I've got my own pains and things going on as well. But I think,
you're on antibiotics.
I think listeners are a bit sick of hearing about our aches and pains and gripes.
Because we're now in our 30s.
I know. If you're listening to this and you're in your 20s or your teens even.
Enjoy it. Make sure
I know there's also going to be people listening in their 40s and 50s listening to this saying, oh, just you wait till you get to our age. So
yeah. Okay, my advice to my 20-year-old self would be, do not skimp on a good mattress.
Yes.
Do not skimp on a good pillow.
Yes.
If you've got genetic things in your life.
Like arthritis.
Yeah. Do things to help you before it gets any there.
Yeah.
So I don't have arthritis yet, but my mum has severe arthritis. And so, yeah. But yeah, we are going to do a live taste test.
Well, we know what they taste like. We've had them before.
But they're not open.
Go on, open them.
I'm not allowed.
Oh, no, you're the official opener.
But they're not for the podcast.
Well, you just made them for the podcast.
They're outrageously chocolatey, milk chocolate-coated custard creams.
So we've
More
talked,
chocolate than biscuit.
Yeah, we've talked on this podcast about how custard creams are a god-tier biscuit.
Oh, no.
They are.
No, I would not say god tier.
What tier then?
Okay.
King tier.
So, for you, it can be god tier.
Yeah.
For me, my god tier biscuit would be jam and cream Fox's biscuit.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said when we had this conversation last time.
They're closely followed by triple chocolate cookie Fox's cookies.
Yeah, you also mentioned those last time as well. Yours.
I love them so much. And then like the Lou butter biscuits, I love those as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're god tier, but they are close up there. What other biscuits? Okay, people think like Jammy Dodgers are nice. No way, Jose.
Nah.
They're a child's biscuit.
Yeah.
Keep them for child. Party rings though, a child biscuit I can eat.
Okay, we're not doing biscuit chat again.
Oh, I love biscuit chat.
Yeah. But yeah, this is unusual for us. We've had a break between watching and recording.
Yeah.
Normally we go straight on and record, but yeah, I had a doctor's
I will
appointment.
say this.
I had to nip out to.
I will say this to the podcast right now.
Miracle day.
It's a miracle that I'm sat here. This show is boring. It's so boring.
I will admit, it is slow. It is, and it needn't have been so drawn out.
No, it could have been 6 episodes and be quite happy.
Yes.
Could have been 4 episodes. Could have been a 3-part series.
Yeah. I think you've just got to think it's the American thing, isn't it? They like longer series.
No, this is what I would call the she who should not be name effect.
What?
Someone just stopped editing him.
Oh. But I'll be honest, I don't know the ins and outs of the balance of who was in charge. Like, and you know, he might have wanted it to be shorter. He might have lost a few battles on this, Russell. But yeah, anywho.
Russell, come on our podcast. Out of all the Doctor Who podcasts, where do we sit?
I don't know.
Are we like a middle pulling show?
I don't know. I mean, there's others that have been going on a lot longer than us, but I think we do all right.
Yeah, we have a good fan base.
We do have a good following.
Stephen treated me to a book to get me to do this, by the way.
It's got to the stage of this podcast where I'm now bribing Ben to do episodes.
No. Just this. I would say Miracle Day has been tough for me.
Yes, I get that.
Because I feel like it's boring.
Yeah.
But then Stephen said, I'll buy you a book.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would agree with you. And I completely understand when you say it's boring and it's slow.
It feels like Children of Earth should have been where it stopped.
Yeah, I get that. Thing is, I haven't watched this series as much as the others, and I don't know it that well. But I do remember bits from it from later on in the show, and I think once you've seen the whole thing, I think you will appreciate it a bit more.
Yeah.
But you probably will still think it should have been shorter.
Yeah. But I will say this. I want to talk about Rex and the gun and the killing the hitman.
Oh, right at the end there.
Yeah. But
So
we watched one the other day.
Yeah, we watched another
Then
2
went
episodes.
Well, we went to Brighton.
Oh, we did. Shall we talk about that?
Yeah, we wanted a capybara teddy.
Yeah. So Ben has had this idea in his head about going fossil hunting. And he wants to go to the Jurassic Coast in Dorset.
I still do.
Yeah.
I still do.
Yeah.
But we've agreed with a great plan for the summer.
We were planning to do it, and I looked it up and I was like, okay, it's like a 2.5 hour drive, but
Hence I don't drive there.
I'll do it because Ben wants to go. And he was so excited, he had his little hammer ready to go and break up some fossil rocks. And
then I didn't have a very good night's sleep.
I
had a really bad night's sleep.
Bad night's sleep. And then we were about to go, and this sums up Ben, by the way, and his ADHD-ness. We were ready to go. We went to Tesco's nice and early, and we got some pastries for breakfast. We were ready for our long drive, and then Ben goes, maybe we shouldn't go. I was like, okay. And I was about to go to the roundabout towards the motorway. I was like, make a decision now. And you were like, let's just go home. So then I came up with the compromise. Okay, let's just go for a day trip to Brighton because it's nearer.
Yeah.
And that's something else we've been saying we're going to do for ages. So, yeah.
And I still want to go fossil hunting.
Yeah, we will do it.
But
doing that there and back in a day would be very tiring.
Yeah. Because even coming Brighton and back was tiring for you.
It was pretty tiring, yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, we had a nice time.
Yeah, and then we went into the pier, as you always do when you go to Brighton.
Yeah.
And I went into the pier, and I wanted a capybara.
From the claw machine.
Or a Highland cow. And...
we have a good track record with claw machines.
Well, you do.
For very early on in our relationship, within the first year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We went to Thorpe Park, and I won 2 things out of a claw machine back to back.
Yeah.
Didn't I?
Yeah. Their names are Alex. Stephen named it, but...
Alex the cat.
Alex the cat. And I have George the unicorn.
Yeah. We've lost George, though.
And George has a song.
George has a what?
A song.
Yeah.
My name is George the unicorn.
Did you steal that tune from someone?
I don't think so.
Anyway. But yeah, since then, they're really hard. I think they're obviously a massive scam, aren't they?
But anyway, this is not a claw machine podcast.
No.
This is a...
Speaking of claw machines, though, sorry. But let's just make this a claw machine podcast for a minute. I saw a video the other day of, I think it was a tarantula or some sort of massive spider that was being lowered down on top of another one of it massive tarantula spider things.
Yeah.
And the one on top, its legs were spread and then it scooped up this other one and went up, and it was like a claw machine.
Oh my God.
And people were like, this is how dangerous claw machines are in Australia. Do they have tarantulas in Australia?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh. I could never.
They have venomous snakes, venomous lizards.
Yeah, what haven't they got in Australia, basically?
Got spiders the size of birds.
Yeah, it's those huntsmen that I don't want to think about. You see videos that they're on someone's curtain and it's like the size of a dinner plate.
Yeah.
Like, no. Burn that house down.
Bit extreme.
Yeah. Kill it with fire. Anyway.
Perfectly good curtains, Stephen.
Sorry?
Perfectly good curtains.
Yeah, no, burn the house down, not just the curtains.
God, no.
Anywho, so the 3rd episode of Miracle Day that we watched, Dead of Night, and then the 4th one was Escape to LA.
Yeah.
So, do you remember Rex pulling a gun on Friedkin?
Okay, yeah, you need to rehash me a little bit.
Yeah, well, I barely remember, but...
Oh, no. Okay, so I remember him, like...
So Friedkin's the Toy Story guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember him going to him and he was holding a gun and he was like, I wonder what part's the memories.
Yeah.
And then he's like, don't go deaf.
Yeah, because that's the thing, like in this, people are always pulling guns and stuff in these TV shows. But in a world where you can't die, the meaning of that has slightly changed. Like,
yeah, so it's like, what can you do to impair them?
Yeah, because yeah, sure, you're not going to die, but you can be in agony forever.
And then he's like, he wants information. Then he got the phone, which did fucking jack all.
Well, it told them that there's someone...
Is it aliens?
We don't know yet.
Is it not? It's all to do with Ficor.
Well, Ficor's the company that has got all these painkillers and everything. It's like they're prepared. They knew it was going to happen.
Oh, by the way, Esther Drummond's sister...
Oh, yeah?
She's dead on the money.
About what?
Something in the air.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, something in the air.
Oh, yeah, she said it's infected us in the air. But yeah, anyway, Ficor's the company, but then there's also this force above and beyond them.
The Triangle. We'll call them the Triangle.
Yeah, until you find out their real name.
The Daleks.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine how incongruous that would be in this show?
Incongruous?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like, he wouldn't fit at all.
No.
Imagine Rex facing a Dalek.
He's like, what the fuck are you supposed to be?
You look like some gay sort of Pepper Pot shit.
Is that what you do, Jack? You bring up gay Pepper Pot shits and...
Yeah. Is that what you people do? You make everyone around you gay? That's the plan.
Jack would bang him in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. Why is Rex so homophobic, though?
Because maybe he is.
Mate, I guess it's 2011 this was made.
Is Esther gay? Is she a lesbian?
You seem to be obsessed with that there's going to be some sort of lesbianic things happening in this show. You keep... Every time you see two women interact together, you say, lesbians.
Well, I think that they are not represented in the media.
No, I get it. I completely agree. But just because you see two women talking to each other...
Yes,
like,
I know.
So Jilly Kitzinger and Vera Juarez, you were like, oh, they're going to kiss and stuff.
Well,
no, they're not going to kiss.
I thought Esther and Vera had some weird... Oh, they've been there.
Like, energy.
Yeah.
So we were saying Gwen's got a lot more ruthless since she became a mother, I think.
She is doing anything to get back to Anne Wen.
Yeah. And she's picked up... You said, she's picked up a lot of skills, like...
Hacking,
and, like, she knows all the moves. Like, you know, when she was, like, showing that man a map and he was leaning into the car and then she grabbed his tie and knocked him out.
She says, look, we're just lost.
And they're doing this... Well, I think it was only that one episode, but they were doing this big labouring the point of, British people and American people have different words for things, and we've got to translate everything.
Holy moly! What a load of shit!
Gwen's like, I picked up some crisps from the petrol station and some mobiles, and she's like, I think you mean chips from the gas station, and they're called cell phones. Like,
and I'm like, who is this for? It's definitely not for the British
and
audience.
Then Rex was like, I'm changing my pants, and Gwen's like, you're changing your pants? Like, that's so patronising. We all know what they mean, and vice versa, I'm sure. Or do American people really not know what we mean when we say
American
petrol station?
If I said to you, well, there's little things like yogurt. They say yogurt.
Yeah, but that's just pronunciation. It's not a different word. If we say pavement, surely an American knows.
They say the hob is the stove.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
I thought the whole thing was a stove.
I don't know.
But we call them cookers. Because what do they do?
They cook. Or an oven. Or an oven, yeah.
What do we call the thing that you direct in the car?
Oh, this is that TikTok thing, isn't it? We call it an indicator because we like to indicate which direction we're going to go in. We call it blinkers because lights go blink.
Then pavement.
Yeah.
And
we call it sidewalk because we walk on the side of the road. No,
we
have you seen
it pavement because it's been paved?
Yes. Have you seen that Michael McIntyre clip where he's talking about the American versus British words for things?
No.
Like, American versions are much more specific. Like, where we say glasses, they're not sure which part of the body it goes on, so they say eyeglasses. And, like, we say horse riding, but just in case you weren't sure which part of the horse you ride on, it's horseback riding.
Yeah, you don't want to get that mixed up.
No. Yeah, another interesting thing in terms of how the world has changed, in that the police were saying we're not even allowed to say attempted murder anymore because murder is impossible. So if murder is impossible, you can't be attempting.
But the thing is, though, if murder's impossible, then when things all go back to normal and all those dead die,
yeah,
but you're not going to know who did that.
No, but you're just assuming that that's what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, it is. It is going to go back to normal because we're going to have a big thing with Rex. Oh, goodbye, 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 squish, squish, goodbye. But then it looks like he's slightly healing when he showed his father.
Yeah, I don't know. We got quite a raunchy hookup with Brad, the bartender, and Jack.
Why did we see his bum?
Because it's a nice bum.
Is it?
Yeah. They cast a very Hottie McHot.
If we did Hottie of the Week, he would definitely get your Hottie of the Week, yeah. No.
And yeah, Oswald.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Yeah. So he got beaten up by the cops.
Yes.
The cops.
This is Bill and Bob.
Matilda, this is Bob and Bill. Really nice guys.
They're cops.
They are not cops. They are ace powerboat salesmen. You can't see the motion I'm doing, but if you know the film.
He's doing the cha-cha dance.
No, I'm doing the ocean waves. There are no lakes around here. If you know the film, 10 points. We talked about it many times on this podcast. So, yeah, she'll talk about Esther and her sister and the children. She's reported her sister to whatever they have in America for social services.
Before we do that, can we just like realise that Melanie is a name you have to grow into?
Is that one of the children?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby Melanie. That is a name you have to grow into.
I don't know if I agree.
My brother wants to call his first girl, Melanie.
Does he?
Yeah.
I've not heard that.
And I was like, do I get gay uncle vetoes?
No, you don't, Ben. Why would you?
Because
because I have taste?
I do have taste.
Ben, can I just say there might be someone called Melanie listening who's offended right now.
I'm sorry, Melanie.
What do you mean you have to grow into it?
Because it's a mature name.
But everyone's a baby at some point.
Yeah, but like you have to... Okay, Margaret. That is a name you have to grow into.
But that's because they go through fashions and cycles, don't they?
Yeah.
But some of those, what we would think of as old-fashioned names, are coming back into fashion now. Anywho, so Esther reported her sister to social services.
Yeah.
She was right to do that, I think.
I think those children were locked in their room. No, they didn't have free reign of the house either.
Yeah. But understandably, it's obviously taken its toll on Esther, and she's very sad about it.
Yeah. But why have they got Drummond as their surname? Because normally children take the father's name.
Yeah, maybe if the father's not around, maybe they took her name. Maybe the father was just coincidentally also called Drummond.
Weird. If that's true, I would have a paternity test just to make sure that you're not having sex with your first cousin or something like that.
Yeah.
But that seems to be the thing that happens.
Yeah. Anyway, and yeah, Esther's mistake in doing that as well has led to them being trapped.
Yeah.
This hitman was sent because somebody wants Jack eradicated, wiped out. Why?
I don't know, but he would have tortured him. He would not have let it be quit because he can't kill as readily as he wants to.
Yeah.
He would have tortured Jack.
Mm.
How do you go into that? I don't think...
What, that line of work?
Yeah, no, it's weird.
Yeah, I think you'd have to be...
Mentally unstable?
Yeah. So I recently listened to the audiobook of the novelisation of Dalek from Series 1. By the way, listeners, if you haven't read that or listened to it, I recommend it. It was absolutely brilliant. Reminded me what a brilliant story that was to begin with, and the way the original writer has then expanded it for the novel works really well. And there was a whole chapter about the torturer of the Dalek, the man who was in charge of torturing the Dalek, and how he had got into that line of work of like torturing and stuff, and he was like a psychopath or something.
Yeah. But then we were just about to find out the Squibbly Dibbly's name. And then here comes Rex like a ball in a china shop.
Yeah. And
shot his vocal cords.
Yeah, well, he was saving them.
Though what this thing is, it doesn't stop you feeling pain.
No, it doesn't.
He's bleeding out there, but he is still alive.
Yeah, and he's feeling every single second of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's taken all the mercy out of life.
Yeah. Or death, even.
Yeah. Because if you're fatally injured, your body gives you mercy, or God gives you mercy, or whoever you believe in, and you die.
Mm. And also, when you're dying, doesn't your body give you hormones to like dull the pain or something?
Oh yeah, your body is very smart, and apparently, if you're fatally hurt and like it will do something.
I'm sure I've heard something about that. But then in this situation, I guess that's not happening.
Yeah.
So there's this whole thing about dead is dead.
Oh, Ellis
Hartley Monroe.
Oh my God.
We'll talk about the end, but...
Okay.
So she is an interesting character because she's very realistic in terms of the kind of...
She's like a Sarah Palin type
right-wing...
Yeah. And like, my thing about it, I agree with her. Dead is dead.
I don't know if I agree.
I do agree.
So what are you saying? What does that mean?
So, if you're dead, if you have died, if you have bled out, but then you won't bleed out.
Exactly.
Well, you will bleed out. You just continuously bleed out.
Yeah.
But no.
The bottom line for me is if people are still conscious and then they're still alive and they're suffering, then...
But the thing is though, do they deserve the medicine?
What if there's no hope of recovery?
So let's say there's only one pill left. Do you give it to someone who has died, who has had irreparable damage to their body and is not going to heal from it?
Yeah.
Or do you give it to someone who is not dead,
Yeah.
who's not died, who's not got irreparable damage.
Yeah. I think for the sake of confusion, I think you need to stop using the word dead and died, because in this program, people are not
Fine.
dying.
If you are the living dead, if your body has had, in any normal circumstances, you would have died with that damage.
Yeah. The phrase they're using is the people who should have died, quote unquote.
I would call it living dead.
Okay.
If you become the living dead, then I think that the medicine should go to those who are living, because I don't think I think they're going to switch a switch, and I think this is going to become some kind of army. Almost like a zombie fungus.
Oh, really? Right, yeah.
That there's something in them now, in those medicines they're giving or whatever, and now they are now almost like zombies.
I think when you say medicine, are you talking about medicine to help them get better, or painkillers and things like that?
Both. I'm talking about painkillers can go to anyone, but I'm talking about like medicine to heal.
Yeah, so medicine to heal, there's no point giving it to the people who are past it. But then they're in another situation now, which is a unique situation now, where, as I'm saying, they're conscious and they're suffering. So whatever we can do to ease their suffering, the better.
Yeah.
And in this case, I think it's giving them all the painkillers, which obviously FICOR have stockpiled. So I do believe that they should be getting those painkillers.
Yeah. The thing is, though, why did they know it was going to happen?
Well,
why either this entity, should we say, or entities, knew, and so they've set up FICOR, or FICOR was a failing business, and they came in and said, we can make you richer than rich if you just follow our scheme and what we want to do. I do not think Julie Kittinger knows what she's doing. I do not think she knows the grand plan.
No.
I think she is a tool in the shed that they're trying to use.
Yeah.
I think Oswald Daines, I don't like his storyline.
No, I know.
I personally just don't get it. It's almost like monster versus monster.
Yeah.
It's almost playing on that idea that, okay, I've died. That's my old life done. I now deserve to live a new life. I don't know. It's a very grey area.
So we can see quite clearly that he
does not regret killing Susie Cabina.
He's not remorseful, but he could be, if like he represents a person who, suppose he was remorseful, truly remorseful, and he did turn his life around and dedicate it to good. Doesn't that just prove that he deserved that second chance?
Yeah, but like, I will say this: the things he said make me like, he just makes my skin crawl.
Oh, I know, yeah.
And like, Bill Pullman is a fantastic actor.
And he's playing it very well.
He's playing a monster very well.
Yeah.
And when he went into the hospital and everyone was like wanting him, I was like, bitch, he's got a closed door. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
You're like 15 feet away.
Yeah.
And then he just starts saying, I'm like you. And then like, that man started, didn't he? Started to say, I know who you are.
Yeah.
But he realised that no one else is going to be in there, like, can come and save him. And he's coming to save him.
So this is Oswald's new, like, media angle. Because Ellis Hartley, what was it? Monroe's. I was going to say Hartley Brewer, but that's Julia Hartley Brewer. She's got the spotlight because she's saying dead is dead, and she's so like I said, so believable. Like this whole thing of, oh, speaking as a mother, I'm just concerned and blah blah blah. Yeah, she's very realistic.
And like, I will say this, like, I just don't like it when they write cool, very, very cool, very fleshed out characters and they're killed off in the first episodes they're in.
Yeah, that was a shame. She would have been good if she'd continued.
She reminds me of an American version of, in Years and Years, the Emma Thompson character.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, she would have said, my party's called the 51 Stars. But, now can we talk about her being crushed in a car?
Yes.
Ugh! As soon as I realised what happened, I was like, oh my God, this is creepy.
Yeah, it's horrific.
It's like, it's worse than being buried alive.
Yeah.
And Jack survived 2,000 years.
Yeah. Is there not the tiniest part of you that's like, well, that maybe you deserve it? Because the way she was talking about these quote unquote dead people. Yeah. And now she's one of them.
But they're never going to find her.
No. It's that shot where it zooms into the car wreckage.
Yeah.
And then you just see her eye is still alive and moving about. It's so good.
It sends shivers in me. It was really, really... You would pray for release. You would pray for death.
Yeah.
And, like, the thing is, though, why humans? Why has it not affected the animals? I think they want us for something. They want us to build an army for something.
It's very curious.
The thing I would think about is, like, who is it?
What?
Who are the peeps?
Well, they said it's someone Jack knows. And he said it's not easy to narrow it down when you've lived for thousands of years.
Time agents?
Could be.
Who did he go off to the distant stars to go see?
He didn't go to see anyone. He just went to find himself.
And why is this set in America? Because it's lost its Britishness.
Yeah, I do agree. Because particularly the first two series were Welsh and, like, really proudly Welsh.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Welsh is a small country.
Yeah.
Don't eradicate what...
They really wanted to champion the Welsh setting, but also the Welsh people and all that. And they did that really well in those first two series.
Yeah.
And then series 3, they kind of moved it to London, which I can understand, like, because of the story. It made sense. And then now they've moved it to America. But it's great. I can see why they would want to get bigger and bolder and everything.
But the thing is that I think...
But it's losing its Welsh identity.
But I think, personally, what would have felt good is, like, kept Rex and Esther, and maybe... What's the doctor's name?
Vera.
Like, in America, and, like, then have Torchwood in London, like, reforming. And, like... Because my thing is there's not enough Reese.
No, there's not at the moment.
And it just feels like...
Yeah, you only see him on the occasional little video call.
I do wonder, like, if there's any American audience out there, do they prefer this over the other Torchwoods?
In my experience of the fandom, I can't remember coming across someone who prefers Miracle Day to the other series of Torchwood. There are people who say it's good and it's just as good. I think the overwhelming...
You need to go to Specsavers, babes.
The overwhelming opinion is it's inferior.
I would agree.
Yeah, I would probably agree, but so I watched it when it aired originally in 2011, and I was disappointed at the time, and I remember thinking this is not good. And then I didn't watch it again until about a year or two ago, and I remember thinking it's much better than I remembered it.
Where are you looking?
It's all right. It's brought up a lot of stuff for us to talk about.
Yeah,
it's definitely interesting. I admire what it was trying to do.
I just feel like Russell's storytelling hasn't blended very well with the structures of American TV shows. And for me, that just feels like it's been to its detriment. Like, all the characters that we have come to love, well, you've just stripped them away to bring in new characters that I feel are just shadows of what you brought before. Like, it's like Andy with his unrequited love for Gwen.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, he's devoted to her. He will help her out, even though he risks his job.
We've barely seen a glimpse of Andy.
Yeah. It feels to me like you've had all these amazing characters, and we've stripped Torchwood right back, and now we're starting again.
Yeah,
it just feels like, okay, you've got rid of Tosh, you've got rid of Owen, you've got rid of Yanto, and you're trying to build this show back up, and you're not done successful, and that's why we haven't got Torchwood today, because Russell failed us in building the show back up. This show deserves a lot more than what I'm seeing right here.
Yeah.
And it deserves a better finale than this.
Oh, yeah.
This is not a very good send-off for the...
No, it is. I think as far as... Yeah, it's interesting to watch, but I do think when you think about Torchwood as a whole, it's almost better to just pretend it just finished with Children of Earth.
Yeah, Children of Earth was a peak, and sometimes you just got to finish on a high.
The other thing for me is, in terms of the canon of the Whoniverse, and remember that Torchwood is set in the same universe as Doctor Who.
Yeah.
It now feels so worlds apart.
Yeah.
Like the Moffat era, which was concurrent with this.
Yeah.
There's no way that this feels like it belongs in the same universe.
It feels, it does feel very different.
And where is the Doctor in all this? Why is he not...
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That is the thing. When you're doing things like this, the Doctor is going to notice.
Yeah.
If Rose is still on Earth at this point, she's going to find a way to get to him. If Donna is on Earth, she's going to find a way to get to him. If Martha's on Earth, she's going to find a way because she knows that he can fix it.
Yeah.
He knows that it's what he does. And I know people will say, oh, Ben, you're so negative. I just have very high standards.
Yeah.
And I think that makes me very good at seeing
And when we've
something for what it
we've
is.
come off the back of Children of Earth, which was so
That was a show where I said to Stephen, okay, I need to keep watching. I watched them back to back. Like, if I'm going to binge a show, you know that I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This just feels like it's boring, it's long-winded, it's got characters that I don't really care about.
Yeah.
Out of all the new characters, I'm a bit like, probably the one I would take is probably Rex, because he's the most fun. At a pinch, Esther, but she is a bit of a wet blanket. And I know
But I quite like Vera as well, though.
she's no Owen.
Well, she's not meant to be Owen. She's meant to be her own character.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, she had sex with a man who's got a hole in her chest. Imagine if she was just getting she was reaching up like they do. She was giving him a nice time.
Yeah.
And then she's reaching up. Oh, my finger's just gone in your hole.
Well, it's another orifice to throw into the mix, isn't it?
For what?
Whatever, I don't know.
I hate blood.
Yeah. Well,
Ever since I nearly decapitated my finger.
Decapitated your finger.
Nearly took my finger off.
Right, yes.
Someone at work closed the hinge on my finger.
When was this? You told me about it, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to go in A&E.
Did you?
Yeah, I had my bandage wrapped up.
Because you were all, when you worked in retail, you were always having accidents, and I used to get so annoyed.
Yeah, I used to trip over dollies.
You're so slapdash.
I used to cut myself with a safety box cut.
Wasn't
And
very
my
safe
colleague
then.
was like, "How the fuck did you do that?" Well, she didn't say that, and I said, "I do not know. It just happened."
Yeah.
And so yeah,
You're just quite accident prone, aren't you?
yeah.
Anywho, what were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about a hole in someone's body being an orifice. Anyway.
Can you get pregnant from a person who was dead, the living dead?
I personally would think yes, you can. If that part of their systems is all still working, then yes.
Rex probably could have got Vera pregnant.
Possibly, yes.
And that's a new type of person.
I don't think it is. The
cells. No, this is it. The cells are different. The cells are dead. But
this
they're
switch
acting as if they're not dead, which means that I think that it's some kind of zombie.
Right. But this switch has been flipped for every single human, regardless of whether they have died or not. Like, then they're all now the same, that they can't die regardless of what happens.
Yeah, but when you die, when your body had irreparable damage, that's when your cells are like, okay, we are now like, oh my God. Because if he's not healing, Stephen, he's dead. If you're not healing, you're dead. If you're living, your cells would be healing that hole in his chest.
Yeah, but you keep saying it looks like he is healing.
Yeah, but we haven't had conferable damage. Different makeup artists, different.
Can you speak English, please?
Well, I know exactly. You know what I said.
No, I know I do, but the listeners don't. I'll just repeat to you what you just said. You just said we have had no conferable damage. Different makeup artists.
Okay.
We
have not.
We have not had it confirmed.
We've not had it confirmed.
Yes.
That he's healing.
Yes.
If when we get that, I will now stop calling him dead.
Right. And you say about different makeup artists, but that people in TV take continuity very seriously. They will be. If it's changing, there'll be a reason for it to be changing. I would think. Anyway.
Why do people use other people to hurt Jack? He's mortal now. Just snap his finger off. He'd feel that.
Yeah, or just, kill him.
Maybe this is what happens, that he actually, like, on the flip, his head gets decapitated and he becomes the face
of Bear. Thing is, we talked about this on the last episode, but it just bothers me. How can Jack be mortal? He can't.
He can.
He can't.
Oh, no, he can't. Because I do agree with you, because of the fact that he's got to be...
It's written into time.
It's written into time. So this is what we call retcon, Stephen.
He is a fact of the universe that he's done. It doesn't matter if some switch has flipped and he's gone to mortal because everyone else has gone immortal. That shouldn't affect him.
Because he does die. What,
the face of Bo dies?
No. Jack does die. And then his body re-kicks himself back into gear.
That's a grey area, I guess.
No, he does die.
Oh, he does die because he said. I'm sure he said stuff like, "Oh, I was dead too long that time," or "I was dead for a long time," or something like that.
Yeah, and then oh my God, remember when he regrew? He regrew from a finger.
Oh my God, regrew from the bits in the body bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a good scene.
It's not, it's minging.
Yeah, it's minging, but it's good. Also, we've got to talk about Jack and Gwen going undercover as the couple.
Oh my
and
God.
Gwen's American accent. And she's like, oh my God, hot diggity.
Oh my God.
And they walk away and Jack's like, you are never doing that accent again.
Yeah, and they did that. So they did it holistically, so he didn't die. He still was there for his child. But no, this man was like, no.
He did it holistically.
What?
You just said they did it holistically.
That's what you said.
No.
When we were talking.
Somewhat ethically is what I said.
Google the word holistic. Google it. Google it now. Google.
Characterised by the treatment of the whole person, taking into account mental and social factors rather than just the symptoms of an illness. That's nothing to do with...
Okay.
You meant
Slap my face and call me Brenda.
Oh yeah, that's your new theme tune.
And then I've got to make up a musical called Moo.
Oh, for God's sake, Ben.
Moo! Moo! Moo!
Ben just said to me the other day...
Moo!
He said, imagine if there was a musical about cows and it was just... all they said was moo.
People go to operas, don't know a lick of Spanish or French or Italian
or German.
And then they go, oh, that was good. That was very good.
Yeah.
Bitch, you didn't know anything they were saying. So if you don't know, you would happily go and see Moo the musical.
Surely it should just be called The Moo-sical.
But do you not see my logic is very sound?
I don't agree, because even if you don't understand French, for example, you can still hear a French sentence and think, oh, that sounds beautiful.
Okay, I'll do it then. I'll change it. Mooey, moo, mooey, moo, moo. Stop making me laugh. Mooey,
Stop being funny then.
Moo. Moo, 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 moo.
Are we done?
For what?
With the musical?
No.
If you want to skip the topics mentioned at the start of the episode, skip forward 3 minutes now.
Oh, it was weird when the baby was... Why would someone just leave the baby?
Well, my understanding was it was a dead baby that wasn't dead, obviously, and they didn't know what to do with it.
Oh. How rude.
Yeah. Very sad.
Oh, imagine that would be awful. Stillbirths.
Exactly.
And then, like, they're no longer dead, but you don't know they've died.
Yeah.
And so one day when it goes back...
This, not to bring it back to this whole right-wing, conversation about abortion and all that, but, like, people struggle to define when does life begin, and some people believe it begins at conception and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. If a fetus dies before it's born, at what stage in the miracle does it qualify for the miracle to still be alive? If it gets conceived and then it passes out. Like,
oh my God.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Sorry, that's quite dark, I know, but...
Yeah.
This is what this programme brings up so many questions.
I had a dark thought about America saying, like, if you have a stillbirth, then we're going to do you for murder.
Really? What, in this or just in general?
Just in general.
Yeah.
Because someone said life starts at ejaculation.
Who says that?
Some weird-ass state in America.
Oh.
Someone clearly needs to go back to school and realise that you need an egg.
Yeah. Well, no, life doesn't start from ejaculation, but some people, like, I know Catholics believe that sperm are sacred because they have the potential for life.
They have no potential.
Yeah, every sperm has the potential to get to an egg.
No,
I don't agree.
No.
I'm just saying that's what
Science
they think.
have proven that the egg actually chooses a sperm.
All right. Yeah, I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying that's the viewpoint.
Name me a man who has not masturbated. Pope masturbated. If you are going to say to someone, you can't have sex with a woman, you can be a gay priest, but you can't have sex with men, they are going to ejaculate.
Yeah,
and they're going to
I think it's one of those things where everyone knows that they all do it, but they just pretend that they don't for the sake of the argument.
Ugh.
I don't know. Anyway, because even if you're not doing it manually, like, it's going to come out some way, isn't it? In the night time or something.
Manually?
It's going to come out automatically in the night time.
Well, it does if you have wet dreams.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm getting at. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. But, like, if you think about it, like, it is clearly proven that if a man does not masturbate, it is actually really bad for the prostate.
Yeah.
And it is, like, I don't know if it doubles or something. I don't know how much, what the percentage, but it does really make that they will probably get prostate cancer.
Yes. So, the lesson is...
Masturbate.
Masturbate. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Monkeys do it.
Yeah.
Gorillas do it. Most apes do it.
Yeah, I'm sure most animals do, in some way.
Well, dogs hump anything. That can't be because they think it's real. They just want to get their jollies off.
Okay.
Anywho.
And last but not least, Gwen's dad is going to an overflow camp.
Which is another words for concentration camp.
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And bless Reese, he thought he was doing the right thing because she said about...
She said do it.
She said get him out of there.
And how was... She did not... But the thing is, though, she could not have any argument to him because your last words to him, just do it.
Yeah, I don't think she does blame him.
He thought he was doing the right thing for her because of the fact that he was told, oh, this is brilliant. No, don't blame the man. Give him hope.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that unfolds. So before we finish, this time I wanted to read a lovely message that I got on Discord from one of our listeners called Mo, and it goes like this. Just finished listening to season 5, and I loved listening as usual. The podcast just keeps on getting better. And I like how now he's seen so much of the show, even when Ben doesn't like the episode, it's because he knows how good this show can be when it's done well. So it's always really valid criticism that a fan would say. I like when he says he wants RTD and Tennant back, because that's all I was saying during season 5 at the time. Also, I want to say a personal thank you to you both for representing the show I love, but also for representing queer culture in Britain, because we need to see it represented more. As a single gay autistic man, I really appreciate you letting us see inside your life and relationship. I imagine it's a very intimate and vulnerable thing to put yourselves on the internet like that, so thank you. Your fierce love for one another and the laughter and happiness you share is so inspiring to me and gives me hope for my nerdy little self. And then he says you can pass that on to Ben or read it out on the podcast, especially if it inspires him to keep doing the podcast.
I'll tell you this, Mo. You've just got to keep going.
With what?
If you want someone, you don't look. Because I wasn't looking for this person here, and then I found him. And I think you just got to put... My advice to everyone is this. You've got to build a foundation, but that foundation just can't be solidly like one thing. It has to have some love, it has to have some friendship, it has to have some drive, it has to have some passion, it has to have... This foundation has to have everything that you value in your relationship. And it won't grow if you just build it on one thing. It needs to have several different things.
Yeah.
Meadows just don't have one flower, they have many.
My gosh.
And some have brambles and some have stinger nettles, but that's okay because mostly it's flowers.
Lovely. We should put that on a
T-shirt?
On a t-shirt or something. Yeah. I agree. And that was such a lovely message. I really enjoyed reading that, which is why I wanted to read it out on the podcast. So thank you, Mo. Well, I think it's time for our favourite section. Patreon, 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 shout-outs. Patreon, 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 shout-outs. We're super, super grateful to everyone who supports us. This podcast would not be happening if it were not for the support of Louisa,
Fab,
Philip,
Cool,
Northerly,
Groovy,
Jason,
Fab,
Tom,
Fabulosa,
Louis,
Louia,
Michael,
Fab,
Ferner,
Amazing,
Heather,
Bird, that's amazing,
Benny,
that's the same name as me, but I don't go by Benny, I go by Ben. Woohoo!
Caleb, Monica,
cool,
Amber,
cool,
Jess,
that's amazing,
Kaylee,
that's so cool,
Jay,
fabulous Jay,
Owen
is fab,
Natalie,
cool,
Imogen,
that's so cool,
Sarah,
what a fabulous name, Sarah,
Aaron,
Arono, that's cool,
Jake,
that's so cool,
Janie,
Just Janie, that's amazing. I get to get that every time, but sometimes I just forget.
Elijah,
what a cool name.
Scott,
amazing.
Tony,
that's so fab.
Nat,
that's so cool.
Leah,
what amazingness.
Lewis,
what's so cool.
and Lucy.
Lucy, that's so cool.
Wow, thank you for that.
If you could not tell, I do that on the fly. And I ran out of words that I could say, so I just made it up as I went along.
Thank you to all those wonderful people for your incredible support. It's very much appreciated.
We thank you every day, because you mean that we can be gay.
I think we'd be gay anyway, but anywho, if you'd like to join them and get access to our back catalogue of Patreon bonus episodes and any ones that come out in the future, you'd be very welcome to do so. All the information is on the link tree in our show notes. Another weekly reminder, which you're going to get every week now, from now till the 22nd of March, which is the day that we do our live episode. It's going to be at 7 p.m. UK time, so work out whatever that is in your time zone.
On a work night?
No, it's a Saturday.
Oh, okay. Good.
So yeah, we're doing that. We're going to be celebrating the 20th anniversary of Rose, and it's also our 100th episode. So I don't know at the moment whether it's more about Rose or it's more about us, but it's both.
Come and ask us questions.
Yeah, so it will be on, I believe it's going to be on YouTube. Check our social media for information nearer the time. But you'll be able to interact and post messages in the chat and stuff like that. And so it should be really fun. So we look forward to seeing you then. We'll also be back next week for the next part of Miracle Day.
But other than that, stay cool, stay safe, and stay fantastic.